Donald, you were saying?
Yeah, I saw Tim Snyder on a streaming interview this week. He was talking about a little bit about, calling Trump a fascist. He says most of the true fascists weren't in it for the money, and Trump's all in it for the money. He's just a thief, not a
And
fascist.
Tim Snyder, can he define what fascism is?
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
what.
Well, what's that?
Well, I think he picks up the traditional Roman understanding of the bound community, where the community is supersedes the individual.
Yeah, he's following Arendt's in this tradition,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah,
mean, that was
yeah.
what
He
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 did.
quotes Arendt
Yeah,
in when he discusses this. He
Yeah,
looks to
but
her.
there's a few collectivist political philosophy. Fascism is merely one of them.
Right,
exactly.
right,
And
exactly.
it's what Snyder and Arendt both want to do is they want to get us to stop throwing these words around without thinking about, not
Yeah, but
everything that we don't like is the same thing. They're
I,
different things.
Yeah, if it
Snyder
wasn't for
is
you
one of those
Australian
that throws it
Nazis.
around.
Sorry, say that again, Stephen.
Snyder is one of those that throws the term around. I've listened to him, and he really just goes into a rant. He loses it with Trump. He's got Trump derangement syndrome.
I would somewhat agree with you, Stephen, but what my primary is through his writings, his historical writings on Eastern Europe, you know, where he considers these things, or you can look on YouTube. He has his, I think he's at Yale or Princeton, I don't know, I forget, but he has,
These days, that's no recommendation.
well, his lecture series on the origins of modern Ukraine go back to the Viking explorations of the rivers coming south or
Yes.
going upriver from the south, and the settlement of Eastern Europe by Viking population, and it's just fascinating and takes you up to, I think, a fairly good understanding of how Eastern Europe got built. I mean, and he considers in there the Jewish diaspora, the Mongol invasion. It's quite interesting. He's quite knowledgeable about these things.
Hmm.
You know whether he's whether every political thing he makes about contemporary stuff is right. That will be contentious for 50 years or something. But
Right.
when he is in his lane, in his field of Eastern European history
And the Holocaust.
and the Holocaust, the stuff like that, it makes for fascinating reading and study.
Yeah, it's the thing we have to do with all of these thinkers is recognize nobody's going to get everything right. But so what we want to focus on is where are their strengths? What's their lane that they're especially good at and use them that way. And you guys over the years, you guys have completely sold me on the idea that if I want to learn more about the history of Ukraine and Eastern Europe, I've got to read Timothy Snyder's Bloodlands and his book on the Holocaust, Black Earth. So I've put them on my short list to read in the next couple months. I'm kind of doing a big Hannah Arendt reading push, and as somebody who's trying to update, Arendt's work to bring it forward and to go into more depth on the things that she brought up, I'm eager to see what he has to say about that. When it comes to your concern about Stephen about his positions on Trump, I got to say though that what Donald just reported is it should please you, right? That's him saying